Good morning and welcome to my kitchen. Today's recipe, cinnamon raisin sourdough bread. I love sourdough bread, but this time it will have that sweet note to it. It goes really well with peanut butter sandwich. I just have a craving yesterday and I'm like, yeah, I have to make that bread. So this is for me mostly, but I want to share it with you. So of course you will need your sourdough starter, and I can imagine not everyone has that, so that recipe will be mostly for people who do have a sourdough starter. If you don't have it, instead of the sourdough starter, you can use a regular packet of dry yeast, and it will work. And for those of you who do not have sourdough starter, I decided to record another video using dry yeast and put the link on the end of this video. For the dry yeast, you will need 400 grams of flour, which is about 3 cups, 1.5 cup of warm water, teaspoon of honey that goes into that water, packet of dry yeast, 1 teaspoon of salt for the filling again, butter, cinnamon, pinch of nutmeg, or you can skip the nutmeg if you don't like the flavor, and raisins. And the second difference here is that I do not mix walnuts with raisins. I just use raisins itself, and about 1 cup. So again, once I am done recording that specific cinnamon raisin bread using dry yeast, I will attach it to this one, so that will be easier for you to find that video. And I fed my starter about 4 hours ago, and as you can see, it tripled in size and it has those beautiful bubbles in, so it's ready for use. And I will use about 130 grams of the starter, 375 milliliters of warm water, teaspoon and a half of salt, and about 450 grams of flour, bread flour. And I have put that salt in my flour. When I mix the salt with flour first, I know it gets distributed the right way. And as far as the filling goes, I need 4 tablespoons of butter, 1/4 of a cup of brown sugar, pinch of nutmeg, and if you're not crazy about nutmeg, you can skip it, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, and 2/3 of a cup of walnuts, 2/3 of a cup of raisins. And I have put warm water so those raisins can soak and become softer for my bread. Also, I have mixed regular raisins with some golden raisins. You can just use regular raisins alone, or if you like the golden raisins, you can use it alone or mix it together just like I did. And these are the ingredients I need for my bread today. Every time I make something, I do put ingredients list under the video. Cinnamon raisin sourdough bread today. Welcome to my kitchen and thank you for watching. Before I put my water in, I like to put 1 tablespoon of honey in my water before I mix my starter in. That honey is a wonderful addition. So dissolve a tablespoon of honey in your water before you put it in. Flour with salt first, and I like to mix the salt with my flour. I use pink salt, and there were times when I first started making breads that I could see patches of the pink, so I knew it wasn't distributed evenly. That's why I started mixing it before I put anything else in. Warm water, and now my sourdough starter. About 130 grams is what you need. I have made sourdough bread so many times. I mean, it's on my table. This is a regular bread that we have with my family, our favorite bread. So I don't weight it anymore. I just kind of know how much. But it should be around 130 grams. So I will put this away and now just mix it all. It doesn't take that long to get all the ingredients incorporated, and it will be more moisture here because once we put all the raisins and the filling in, sugar absorbs water a lot. So regular sourdough bread I make has a little bit less water. That cinnamon raisin sourdough bread has a little bit more water. 1.5 teaspoons of salt, 130 grams of starter, 375 milliliters of water mixed with 1 tablespoon of honey. Mix it up, and as you can see, it is more gooey because the water content. Raisins are sweet and sugar absorbs water faster. 2 folds and stretches. When I add more flour, it will change the texture a little bit. Okay, now cover. And the first time I leave it for 45 minutes. It depends how warm it is in your house, but that's general time frame. And now that I'm waiting for my bread, I can start preparing the spread or filling, the cinnamon filling. So butter, brown sugar, pinch of nutmeg, and 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. And this will wait until my sourdough dough is ready. Mixing that cinnamon filling that goes in there is the exciting part because this is the flavor in that bread, especially when you love cinnamon flavor. Okay, 40 minutes passed and it is time to stretch and fold. Just go around a couple times. First time you do it, it will be gooey and sticky, but the second time around you will see the texture will change and it will be much better to do the second stretch and fold. And on the end, again, a little bit of flour and put it upside down. Cover again and another 30 minutes. 30 minutes passed. It is not so gooey anymore. This bread is different. This bread tastes so yummy with either peanut butter or honey. Maybe honey I like even more. Upside down. And here we go. I just caught the microphone not working, so I apologize. But the raisins were drained and I added the raisins between the folding. So now I will cover it and leave it for another 25 minutes. And next step would be putting the filling, the cinnamon filling in and shaping my bread for baking. So again, I apologize for my microphone not working earlier. Poured with flour, and now I can take the dough out. And this time I will need to stretch it. I need to stretch it out and then put my filling on top and then fold it back in. I wish I knew how to do that thing like they do with pizza, go around. That'd be awesome, but I've never learned that trick. The more I spread it out, the more coverage I have. I would say 12 by 10 would be kind of what you're looking for. If you can do more, great. If not, that would be the reference, 12 by 10. And that wonderful spread will go all around. And that filling was never in the fridge. Just in case, I thought I'll mention it. It is room temperature. Okay, now I will need to fold it in. And a baking sheet with some flour on it. Bring it on that baking sheet and into a dish. Okay, now we just need to wait until it rises again. Ah, the cinnamon smell. And now is the longest wait time, couple hours before it doubles in size. If your house is warm, that will be enough. If your house is on the colder side, that it might take a little bit longer. So you just have to watch, and when you see it rised up, then it will be ready to go into the oven. If you have time to put it in the fridge for overnight cold fermentation, that'd be even better, but I'm doing the fast, quick version here, so I will bake it today. I will see you whenever my dough doubles in size. It's been exactly 2 hours, 15 minutes, and as you can see, it did double in size. And my Dutch oven is preheating. It's been there for 15 minutes, so it's nice and hot. I am about to put the bread in the oven, but I will make a couple small cuts. And of course, get my gloves. And I'm ready to put it in. Gotta be extra careful because this dish is really hot. Whew. Oh, that smells like cinnamon, that's for sure. For 30. For about 40 minutes, 45 minutes. And then after that time, I will take the cover off and leave it in there for additional few minutes so the skin is nice and crunchy. Okay, it's been 45 minutes. So I do want to take the cover off and show you how it looks like. Few more minutes uncovered and the bread will be ready to take it out. Finally. Ooh la la. Of course, I have to be very careful to take it out. That's always the tricky part. And if you like a crunchy bread, leave it the way it is. If you like a softer skin on that bread, cover it. It is all about the moisture. When you take it out, all the steam wants to escape. If you don't cover, then your bread will have a very crunchy, harder skin. If you cover it and trap the moisture, trap the steam, then it will make the skin softer. So it's really up to you how you want the bread on the end. But I will cover it for a few minutes as my kids don't like it very hard, very crunchy. And then I'll cut it in half to show you the inside. It is a beautiful piece of bread. here it is. You can see the design. Layers of that cinnamon going around like a swirly ice cream. And it's soft on the inside and then crunchy on the outside. Thank you for watching. Smacznego!